Before we can move on to be the best possible versions of ourselves, there are steps that we must take to get there. We have to stop skipping steps, you guys. I got it bad too. You know, we want to skip to that success, that happiness, and that abundance. We want to go straight to it. But that's not how life works. You have to take the proper steps in order to get to where you want to and sustain it. You have to put in the work. We have to do the work. And I'm not just talking about the physical work. I'm talking about the inner work. We have to work on what's going on in the inside of us. Today I want to talk about your shadow side and how your shadow side could be affecting your spiritual growth, happiness, success, and overall abundance, and how you can make your shadow side work for you. Stay tuned. For those of you who do not know what your shadow side is, it's the dark side of you. It's our subconscious. It's the negative thoughts, memories, and emotions that we replay in our mind every single day, and we're not aware of it. Shadow work is working on the negative aspects about ourselves, the things that we have suppressed away in our subconscious, such as fears, insecurities, past traumas, and emotions. Shadow work is dealing with the past. It's something that was said or done that made you change the trajectory of your life. It's about working on the root issue of negative things that has impacted your life. It's about working on those things that we have suppressed inside of us that need to be released. We cannot hold on to negative past traumas and emotions. Holding on to that type of energy will leave you stuck. We live in a duality universe, which means everything has an opposite. You have a good and a bad. You could think of the sun and the moon, yin and yang, masculine and feminine, up, down, left and right, negative and positive. If you think back into like science, or if you studied science before, the basic building element to anything is an atom. So an atom has a negative and a positive charge. So our whole life, our whole existence, everything is built up off of the opposite, the negative and the positive, dark and light. And so we have to learn how to balance the two in order for us to have a more harmonious, prosperous, abundant life. We have to realize that one cannot exist without the other. You have to have both in order to have balance. And that's what it's about. It's about having balance within inside of you. With inside of us, we have to have this balance in order to have a great life. I bet all of you are saying, well, you got rich people out here that's straight assholes and they got everything they want in their life and they happy and they abundant and they successful. And that's not the case. That is not the case. You could be rich and still be miserable. If you, like, okay, one of my favorite actors is Robin Williams. I absolutely love him. And rest in peace. But he was a rich man. You know, he was very successful. He was liked by society. Everybody liked him. Everybody respected him. But it was something that was going on within him that made him commit suicide. So money don't equal happiness. And that's what a lot of people have to realize. You have to put in the inner work and not be so fixated on what people think about you. That's, I think, is the main hindrance in almost everybody. We are so worried about, oh, what people gonna think about me. I don't want people talking about me. I don't want people to say nothing about me. If people ain't talking about you, then you ain't doing nothing. You ain't doing nothing. You fitting in with the norm. You cannot fit in with the norm if you're trying to change your life and go a different path. You cannot fit in a norm. You cannot please everybody. You're going to have critics. You're going to have people that straight talk about you and say all these horrible things about you. As long as you know who you are, that's the only thing that matters. Okay? People are not going to stop your progress. you are going to stop your progress, because it's what you think about you that determines your life, your future. Nobody else. This is you. This is all about you. And people, you got so many people that love to wear masks, and they paint this image to the public like, oh, they're better than, I'm better than everybody else, I'm this, I'm that. But y'all don't know what's going on behind these people's doors. These people, you don't know what they're going through. They could be, having financial problems or relationship problems or anything, job problems. You don't know what they're going through. So stop assuming just because people make a perfect picture on social media, that don't mean that they're not going through stuff. So we have to come out of that mindset, because that's what's really limiting us. It's limiting people, period. Because don't nobody want to see the norm. People want to see your authentic self. So don't wear a mask for the public eye. You be the best person that you can be, okay? And you have to work on that negative in those positive aspects about yourselves. You can't have one all the way up here and the other one way down here. No, they have to be balanced. And everybody, what people need to realize first is everybody has a good and a bad. And yes, you do too. I do too. We all do. And you can't say that you don't. If you think of, okay, somebody trying to steal something from you, or somebody says something really negative or real bad about you, or said it to your face, what's going to be your reaction? Are you going to be like, oh honey, that's okay, God bless you, God bless you? No, you're not. No, you're not. Stop lying to yourself. You know what you're going to do. You're going to snap, and you're going to go off, and you're going to tell that person every little thing that's on your mind. That's the negative side of you. That's that dark side of you that you're bringing out because you feel defensive. So we have to learn how to balance that. Okay, we got to learn that we cannot express ourselves in a manner that's going to be destructive. And especially if you done did this before and it never worked, you have to find different ways of dealing with certain situations where it's not impacting you in a way where it's changing the person that you are. It's about working on all of you, working on being whole. And that's the key goal. In Genesis, the 1st chapter, the 2nd and 3rd verse, now the earth is formless, empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. Then God said, let there be light. And he saw that the light was good, and he separated the two. We have to go through the dark in order to get to the light. Okay? So, coming to the light, Caroline. We got to do that, y'all. We have to. Everything have to go through the darkness to get to the light. And, light was created out of darkness. And if you even think about the woman's womb, the woman's womb is dark, right? That's where we give birth. That's where we give life. Our womb is dark. And then when the baby comes out, they come into the light. But I'm going to tell y'all what I do. When I'm doing shadow work, I have to be in solitude. I have to be alone. I have to be alone with myself and God. And I have to be honest with myself. I have to tell myself the truth about myself. Stuff that other people don't know. Other people don't know. These are things that I have stored within my subconscious that I have to go through and figure out. Is this healthy for me to hold on, or do I need to let that go? We have to let go of anything that's negative within us. Because when you hold this stuff inside of your body, you're holding this energy in your body. And you don't realize that when we hold stuff in our body, our cells constrict. Like, it's like a tension. You holding toxins within your bodies that is preventing you from moving on or moving and flowing through your life the way you're supposed to. And everything is a rhythm. God operates in rhythms. It's like everything is a cycle. You have the seasons, they flow in a cycle. everything goes in a cycle. The moon, the sun goes into a cycle. And so when you get to that area in your life, if you start to resist or say, you know what, I can't deal with this, I don't know what I'm going to do, blah, 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 and you start telling yourself all this negative stuff, you're stagnating yourself. You got to be in the flow of life. When I started off, I got me a journal so that way I could write down stuff. Like I had to write it down where I was able to go back and analyze stuff and see what parts and what stuff that I needed to learn to release, stuff I needed to let go, stuff that that was inside of me that wasn't supposed to be there. You know, I had to like reflect on my past traumas. And so that's what the journal is for. You don't have to necessarily get a journal, but it's very beneficial because it will help you in the long run. And it'll also help you, you know, later on in life. You know, if you start to go through those same issues, it'll help you. And even like if you can take your phone and videotape yourself and you just talking and you talking about negative stuff, that's a good way to go back and analyze what's really been bothering you, what's stopping you. What emotions are you holding within you that's preventing you from moving on to the next step? The main key is being open and honest with yourself. And you can be open and honest with yourself and God. You know, you don't have to put on a facade and make it seem like, oh, well, this person did that to me, that's why I did that to them and all this other stuff. No, first off, we have to take responsibility for our actions and the things that's going on within us, right? And so you have to ask yourself questions like, what's bothering me? Why am I sad? What made me act like that? What made me do that? Why do I keep repeating the same cycles in my life? You know, and what's triggering me? What's triggering me? And I know some things that triggers me. I don't like being disrespected. I don't like being lied to. And I don't like being played with. OMG, you will see that shadow side real quick. And y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. That side that they'll let a person know real quick, this ain't what you want. Okay? We all of us got that, y'all. Every single person got that. If somebody cross you, that shadow side can come out real quick. And we have to learn how to deal with situations differently than we have before. So we have to address some stuff that's going on within us so that we can deal with situations more healthier and less stressful. You know, we're able to keep a balance in our life. Even when you think back to the movie Peter Pan, when we was coming up, right? How he was always trying to chase his shadow. He was always trying to keep his shadow from getting into mischief, right? So you can think of your shadow side as being like that shadow on Peter Pan. It's that part of you that can come up when you feel like you're going through a stressful moment, or if you feel like you have to confront somebody. That's that part of you. I've even known people to name their shadow side. If you take Nicki Minaj, right, her alter ego was Roman. That was like her shadow side of her. Okay, so we have to look at our shadow is a part of us. That's who we are, you know, and not be afraid of it and not worry about what people think about it. And like, okay, so if you think about 8 Mile, when B Rabbit was in that last scene, right, and he was just naming all these stuff about him, all these different negative things about him. I am white. I am a bum. I do live in a trailer with my mom, you know. So he named all this negative stuff about him. His opponents, they didn't have nothing to say. He straight shut them down. They had nothing to say about him at all. And that's how you have to look at life. If people say stuff about you, if it's true, okay, it don't even bother you because you already confronted that side of you. And you're not the same person that you are today than you was last year. You're not that same person. And so When we start to become comfortable with who we truly are, we can thrive and go through life gracefully, and life go in a flow, and you don't have to worry about stagnation because you're in the flow of life. When we learn to listen to our spirit and listen to God, God will let us know what needs to be healed, what still needs to be healed within inside of us. But we got to start being in tune and paying attention to our mind, body, and spirit, especially when it comes to trauma and stuff that we had no control over. Like if something happened when you was a child, you had no control of that. You know, you had no control of trauma that happened when you was a child. So a lot of people hold on to childhood trauma and they haven't truly let it go. And when you're able to face that shadow side of you, you'll start realizing that, okay, the things that I was feeling, that wasn't even, you know, that wasn't me. It wasn't because of me. It was the person that did me wrong, their own issues that they was going through that they had not healed from. That was their trauma, you know, that they was reflecting onto me, and it had nothing to do with me at all. And we have to go through this process because we talk about breaking generational curses and stuff like that. This is how you do it, because a lot of our ancestors didn't know exactly what was going on within them, and so they carried a lot of negative traits about themselves that they did not truly heal from. And so it's our responsibility to balance the two so that, you know, our future generations, they'll know what to do when stressful situations arrive. We have to start asking ourselves more questions, okay? You can ask yourself, if you ever felt rejected or abandoned in life, you can ask yourself, like, why did this person reject me? Why did this person abandon me? Why did this person treat me the way that they did? And like I said, a lot of times it has nothing to do with you. It had nothing to do with me. It was their own personal issues, the reason things happened the way that they did. There is power that comes from our dark side. That's where we get our intuition, our wisdom, our power, our fire, our passion for life. And this is how we transform, you guys. It's gonna be bumps in the road. It's gonna be stuff that you're gonna go through in life. But God wanna see, how can you overcome this obstacle? Is you going to take the high road or the low road? God wants to see that within us. He wants to see how we transform. He wants to see us grow. Like, this helps us grow in our life. And it's something that we need to learn to love and embrace and heal it. We have to learn how to tame the beast within us. How to reprogram our brain from all these past traumas and emotions and memories. We have to unlearn bad habits and bad behaviors and patterns. We have to learn to reprogram ourselves so that we're a healthier version of ourselves. We tend to turn to those bad behaviors when somebody has triggered those type of emotions within us. It's a coping mechanism that we use when we feel like we have to defend ourselves from people, or if we feel like, okay, somebody want to bring this shadow side up, I'm finna show it to them. You know, it's a coping mechanism. We have to learn how to tame the beast within inside of us. We have to find a better way to do things in life. And like I said, it's all about asking yourself questions. I'm going to tell you some of the main questions that you have to ask yourself. And like, this is number one in my book. What am I addicted to? Where are my addictions? Is it money? Is it sex? Is it food? Is it alcohol? Is it drugs? Is it work? Is it gambling? You know, at one time I had a bad problem of working a lot, like working myself to the bone, and I think that it came from when I was going through school. Like, I really had a rough time. I was a single mom, you know. At the time it was hard for me to just work full time and go to school full time and take care of 2 kids, and so it was financially difficult for me. But once I became a nurse and I started making money, like, the check was looking good. So I would work more and more and more and more. And especially if I was going through something in my life, that was like my go-to thing. I would work myself to the bone and not give myself enough sleep or enough rest. And so like I was addicted to work. I was a workaholic. So those type of things that I had to like, okay, Sharina, you don't have to work like this. You do not have to work like this. Let's pull it back a little bit. I need you to get some rest. Like I had to have that talk with myself. And that's what you got to do. You got to find out what you're addicted to, what's going on with you, so that you can heal yourself, so that you don't burn yourself out or become unbalanced. And that lead me to the second thing. What do you fear? What is your biggest fears? And why do you fear them? Okay, do you fear being alone? Do you fear being abandoned, not being enough? Do you fear being rejected or not finding that perfect partner? What is it that you fear? What are your fears? And that is like one of the biggest emotions that I despise, and that's fear, because God did not give us the spirit of fear. It's so many negative aspects that comes from fear, such as jealousy, greed, envy, hatred. Our life should not be surrounded around fear. Fear will keep you limited. Fear will keep you imprisoned in your mind. Fear will keep you from going out on new adventures and doing creative stuff or doing something new, something you never done before. So finding out what your fears are and eliminating them will greatly, greatly improve your life. Another thing you have to ask yourself, am I healthy? Am I working out enough? Am I drinking plenty of water? Am I intaking enough vitamins and minerals? Am I limiting myself on red meats? Stop ignoring those headaches and those back pains, because your body is trying to tell you that something is going on with it. So we have to start, like I said, y'all, we got to be in tune. We got to be in check. We always got to check ourselves. If something is bothering you or something it feel physically wrong with your body, check yourself out. You have to be balanced. And our shadow side of us, our shadow side of us probably want to eat pizza, drink beer, and eat burgers and stuff all day long. You know, that's the shadow side of us. It loves pleasure. And so we have to learn how to say, okay, no, you can't have that. All right, you got to get yourself on a better diet. No, that you can't do that. So you have to like check your shadow side. You also have to ask yourself, what's distracting you? What's distracting you and what you're ignorant to? What's preventing you from being on your spiritual path? What's preventing you from being on the path that you're destined to be on? Okay, is it are you ignorant about something that's going on within you? Are you ignorant about that relationship? Are you ignorant about you climbing the ladder at your job? What are you being ignorant about? What's distracting you? Is it social media? Is it family and friends? Is it partying? Is it doing something too much? What's distracting you in your life? What's influencing you? Is it people? Is it family? Is it friends? It all ties back in together. Okay, but you really have to pay attention to what's influencing you. Are you being influenced by social media, the news, people, family and friends? And is it healthy? Okay, because we're always being influenced by something, especially on the outside of us. So we have to make sure whatever is influencing us, that is coming from good intentions. Like, you can't take information from people who don't have they shit together. You just can't. You can't take information from people who always think with a negative in a limited mind space. Okay, you have to be able to be discerning about where you're getting your information from. Okay, so that way that you can stay on the path that you're destined to be on. A lot of people, they take influencing from their family and friends, and knowing damn good well that they don't need to be even listening to these people because they don't have their stuff together. The blind don't need to be following the blind. And even after you guys watch this video, go and research shadow work so you can learn more about it. Don't just take my point of view. You can go and listen to other people and how it helped them. Luke 17:21 verse says, God is within us, and God is within you. He's within me. He's all around us, and he's always trying to lead us on a path that we're supposed to be on. You also have to ask yourself, how am I going to distance myself from toxic people and toxic behaviors? You have to come up with a clear plan on what you're going to do in case this situation arises, in case these emotions come around again in your life, because life is all about cycles. You have to come up with a clear plan on what you're going to do in case something happens again. These tools will help you get a better grip onto your life. And true healing is when you're able to be open and honest with yourself. You have to feel those emotions. You have to acknowledge them for what they are. Heal them and let them go. No lie, when your imagination plays a big part of this. When I let stuff go, or when I'm trying to heal myself, I go into a meditation. And if somebody wronged me or did something wrong to me, I picture myself having a conversation with that person and letting all those emotions and those feelings go. I actually even give that person a hug, and I watch them walk away. And when they walk away, everything that I had bottled up in the inside of me, I let it go with them. I don't keep that stuff trapped inside of me, because keeping it trapped is going to keep me trapped. And I refuse to stay trapped. I'm all about change. I'm a Scorpio. I'm all about transformation. Once we learn to become balanced within inside of us, that's when all the magic happens. That's when you get clarity, knowledge, enlightenment, and overall peace and abundance. And God has a way of getting you on the path you're supposed to be on. It kills me when you ask God to give you alignment, to ground you, to give you abundance. We ask God for this type of stuff, right? So when God do show up in our life, he be like, okay, all right, I'm gonna get this to you. And he start removing stuff. He start removing people and things out of your life. And we like, hold up, God, what's going on? And God be kind of confused, because okay, you asked me for this. You asked me for alignment and grounding and being abundant. But if this person would have stayed in your life, he would have took you for everything you got. And so we got to stop questioning God and questioning the reason why things happen to us. It's a divine reason for everything. It's a divine reason, divine timing for everything. Okay, God can't be on our time. We have to be on God's time, and we got to be ready. In doing shadow work, yeah, it could be kind of hard. It could be kind of difficult, because you're putting yourself in a vulnerable place. But it's a good thing. We have to be vulnerable sometimes. You have to allow yourself to be sad sometimes, angry. You have to allow yourself to cry sometimes. You have to release those emotions. Don't keep them trapped within you, because that's going to leave you in a stuck and stagnant type of energy. And all of us want to be in the flow, so you have to do the work so you can be in the flow. Don't just get caught up in the emotions of it. You have to truly analyze why you feel the way you feel. It's about being accountable, responsible, and having self-awareness, and still loving yourself after that. Still love yourself after all of that, because all of us got our own issues that we're dealing with. Knowing that you're perfectly imperfect. So am I. And it's a reason behind everything that we go through. But we have to allow ourselves to go through it and stop finding temporary comfort in order to deal with it. You're not healing if you jump from one situation to another situation. You're just trying to mask what you're hiding from yourself, because that's the only person you hiding it from is yourself. When we hold stuff inside of us, people know when other people is holding stuff, because they always negative. They do dumb stuff. They got stupid patterns. They do stuff and we be like, why is this person doing the stuff that they doing? You know that that person haven't worked on the part of them. So you got to stop blaming yourself for other people's actions. That's their issues, not yours. The only person that you can work on is yourself. This is a part of your self-love journey. Everything that you have done bad in your life, it comes from not truly healing from issues from the past. You will start to look at situations and different adversities from a new perspective, from a new mind. This has really helped me, you guys. I promise you. When I say I done been through some things, I have been through some things in my life that will make the average person probably crumble. But what a lot of people fail to realize about me, I take stuff that I done been through and I work on it and I heal it. So it don't affect me like that. When stuff happen to me that be so painful and hurtful, I'm able to accept those emotions, accept what just happened. I go heal it and I come back even better. I come back harder. You know, like I'm like I said, I'm a Scorpio, and if y'all study anything about the zodiac signs, a Scorpio is all about transformation. Okay, like a Scorpio can transform from a low vibration, which is a Scorpio, to an eagle, to a phoenix, which is the highest version of themselves. So that is what I seek in life, is to always be better than what I used to be. And I feel like that's what everybody needs to seek within their own self. I'm not the same person I was a year ago, a month ago, a week ago, or a day ago. And I'm not ashamed of the person I am today. That ship has sailed and gone. I'm not worried. I don't care about what people think about me, what they say about me. I bet you won't do nothing to me. That's all I know. See, that was my shadow side right there. I don't worry about people, period. And you shouldn't either. Y'all, do the work, do the work, do the work. This will help you out so much in life. I don't care what you're going through, if it's financial, relationship, job, whatever. Do this. It will help you so much. Let God do his job and you do your job and you do the inner work. Take time out for yourself to find out what's going on with you, because nobody else can but you. This is your life. This is your experience. This is all about you. This has helped me so much get a real grip on my life. And since I've been doing that, I feel like I'm thriving. I might not be everywhere I might not be where I want to be, but thank God I'm not where I used to be. I have elevated in my life and I'm still doing. I still got shadow work that I still need to do. Every day I'm trying to purge stuff that do not serve my highest good. And everybody needs to do the same thing. Okay? Put the work into yourself, because nobody else can heal you but you and God. And with that being said, you guys, that is it for today. I really wanted to get this content out to you guys. Like I've been seeing a lot of stuff and I'm like, yeah, this person needs some help. So this is what my channel is all about. It's about helping as many people as I can. I also want to know what shadow part of yourself that you have had to face and how you overcame that. You can leave that in the comments below. I would love to hear you guys' story. If you like this content, please like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell. And for all my queens and my kings out there, I wish you guys peace, love, abundance, and most of all, balance. Okay? Until we meet next time, I love you guys. Namaste. See you later.